Which character would be a bigger threat? Might Guy as the Nine-Tails Jinchuriki or Orochimaru with the Rinnegan? I did do a short about this, and I said that Might Guy would be an absolute tank, and I don't think anybody in the show could have stopped him, in my opinion, because with 8 Inner Gates and Kurama, I just think that would be unstoppable. But I did have a subscriber ask, who would they be a bigger threat to, because we know Might Guy is a good guy, and then how early on would they have gotten these abilities? Because did Orochimaru get them as a kid like Nagato did, or did Might Guy get Kurama as an adult or as a kid? These things come into play on how big of a threat they would be. Now, when it comes to Might Guy, we know him as an adult, being happy, cheerful, always smiling, giving the thumbs up, unless he's up against a really powerful opponent and a very, evil opponent. That's the only times we don't really see him, his cheerful self. And even then, he's always smiling to his allies, saying, it's okay, we can handle this. However, that could have ended differently if he had Kurama as a kid. If he got Kurama as a kid, he might have taken a lot of despair, or he might have taken a lot of hatred, and he might have turned out differently like Gaara did, because he already was doubting his father's abilities of not using a lot of ninjutsu and developing, kind of mastering the 8 Inner Gates. So Might Guy could have turned out a lot differently, and not being himself could have let Kurama take over, so he might not have been a huge threat. But as an adult, Might Guy getting Kurama would be a major threat to the enemies of the Leaf. I don't think anybody else aside from the enemies of the Leaf. But that also would have changed a lot of the story too, because Madara, Obito, Pain, none of them would have been able to even touch Might Guy with 8 Inner Gates, and with Kurama, he would have been unstoppable. And then during the Great Ninja Wars, he would have been destroying everybody and everything. He would have been over, in my opinion at least, the legendary Sannin of the Leaf. So I think he would have been a major threat, but only to the villains or to the enemies of the Leaf. So now when it comes to Orochimaru, however, his goals were definitely different. He was the villain, or a villain, I should say. He took Sasuke away from the village because he wanted the Sharingan, so that way he can copy every jutsu that he could. He wanted to know every jutsu and master it. He also wanted to watch the Leaf Village burn, take it over, also the other villages. He had every intentions of learning the immortality jutsu. So with the Rinnegan, however, it would depend on when he got it. Because if he got it after the fight with Hiruzen, before he got his arms back, he wouldn't be as big of a threat as a lot of people would think, because he couldn't use some of the abilities, or even most of the abilities, of the Rinnegan. However, we do know that with Orochimaru, he was a villain before he even left the Leaf Village. So if he would have got Nagato's or Madara's eyes before, like when Nagato did as a child, then when Orochimaru got chased out of the village, he might have been able to stop most of the people there, except maybe Hiruzen, or even then. I think by the time the 4th Great Ninja War was happening, Orochimaru would have been a bigger threat than Madara. Not Sage of Six Paths Madara, but Madara, maybe reanimated Madara. Because he would have known so many new jutsus. He would have never lost his arm, so he would have kept growing. He probably would have perfected the immortality jutsu. Between that and the Sound Village, he probably could have taken down the Leaf Village, if not other villages as well. So he could have really been the biggest threat to everybody in the show, not just the enemies of the Leaf. So I have to retake this and say that Orochimaru, if we're considering everybody in the show as like who would be the bigger threat, I think that it would be Orochimaru would be the bigger threat if he had the Rinnegan, and especially early on in the show. But let me know what you guys think in the comment section below, and thank you guys. Please subscribe to the channel. Let me know what you guys want to see next, and I'll catch you guys later.